Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm James and you're watching Dog Aquatics. Now this channel, or not this channel, but this video is gonna be a little bit different than normal. I get questions a lot how I got into the fish world and how it's like owning a fish business. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, but it's worth it seeing the beautiful escapes and everything that people, customers, you guys on YouTube can create. Now, back when I got into it, I actually started in shrimp, and it's because I thought they were low maintenance, and also I like watching them move around and all that. And if you look at some of my very original videos, you can see what I'm talking about. I had at one point over 100 species of freshwater shrimp, from everything from Bloody Marys all the way up to green and zebra babaltis. Now it grew and evolved, and on that note of shrimp, I thought they were easy. They weren't. They were anything but. Yes, your neocardinas are the easier shrimp, but when I got into babaltis, they were so not easy. I had to watch water parameters and levels very closely, and typically testing every 3 to 4 days to make sure everything was appropriate and right, and they were still paying from that. Now, fast forward to now I have a shop. Now, tanks like these, it's hard to point because I don't know where it is. There we go. Now, fast forward to my shop. What's it like having this many aquariums? And truth be told, there are shops that have more aquariums than I do. But let me break down what it entails having a aquarium shop. You need to know, either do it yourself or have someone with experience in caring for all these aquariums, because it's not just like I do water changes every 2 weeks. And no, each one of these aquariums has to be tested regularly, because in fish stores, don't ever pay attention to what fish stores have, because odds are they're having more than what the tank can handle. So let's say you see an aquarium like this and it has a ton of plecos. Now, we actually have to supplement food because there are so many plecos. Bristlenose plecos are one of the true algae plecos. They eat algae regularly, and yes, these tanks are very well established, and yes, there's algae bioload on it, but with that being said, there's not enough food in that tank for them, and so we're constantly having to supplement food for them. Whereas if you were to have this aquarium at home, you'd have 1, maybe 2 plecos, or you would have this many in a much larger tank. Now, we do this in the fish world, or in the fish store world, because we're trying to sell them. We're trying to help you guys introduce fish into your tanks, and so there's a lot of things that we have to watch. Because we have more fish, that means that it affects the chemistry of our water. And so in doing so, we have to do more frequent water changes and water testing, or adding treatments or whatnot to make sure that all the fish stay healthy and safe. Now, if I had more room, I would have much larger tanks, but I don't yet. That is something in the works that we are working on currently, so stick around and make sure to stay tuned in for that. Now, another thing that people don't think about is when you have this many tanks, you have all the lighting. So you have the electricity part of all these aquariums. So, and that adds up quickly. Now, across the entire store, it cost me about $500 a month. And that's because I went with efficient lights and not specialty lights like these per each tank. Could you imagine how much that would be if I had specialty lights over every single aquarium? Oh no, get out of here. But, and then down here, a lot of people comment, they hear this buzzing in some of my videos, and that's from our air pump. And that supplies oxygen and air bubbles to each and every one of these aquariums, run through PVC. Now, the pump itself is actually pretty expensive, but upkeep is pretty minimal. yes, occasionally we'll have to change out airlines. And I actually did figure out I don't like soft tubing. It breaks down too quickly. I actually like hard tubing. And if you want me to do a video on air tubing, let me know in the comments. So what do I like, what do I dislike about owning a fish store? Well, one of the things I don't like is because you could have 10,000 fish and still not have that one fish that somebody wants. And that hurts me, not because I don't have it, but because I want the customer to get what they want. I want the fish. If they want a piranha, I want to be able to get piranhas for them. But with being minimized on tank space, I have to think about what sells, what doesn't sell. And that can be so tricky in trying to figure out what sells, what doesn't sell. I mean, I had some fish up until recently, deep water rainbow fish that we had from the beginning. We had them for 3 years and they finally found a home. And it's because somebody requested that I bring in rainbow fish and then they sat. So now we do it differently where we require deposits on special order fish, something that we wouldn't normally carry, but you have to think about bread and butter. What are the fish that would sell? Are they tetras? Are they rasboras? Are they pygmy fish? Are they shrimp? Are they plecos? What are they? These are all the things that go into actually owning a fish store. And then also on top of that, making sure that I find a vendor that has reputable fish. I don't want to get in 1,000 fish that I immediately had to quarantine for 2 months because they came in sick. Will I do it? Absolutely, because I want the best interest of the fish themselves. But I would rather order through a vendor that, yes, you might have a DOA, or which is a dead on arrival. You might have a couple of them. It's expected when you order mass quantities of fish. But the last order we did was over 700 fish, and we had 1 DOA. That is a reputable vendor. And I'm always looking to expand to other vendors because I want to bring in different fish, or barracudas, arowanas. I actually did find a vendor that had arapaimas. Could you imagine having an arapaima? Yes, they're cute when they're this big, but when they're 4 foot and trying to take your head off, yeah, that's a different story. That is a fish for the zoo. And that's also something I have to think about too, is when I'm ordering, I have to think about, if this fish stays here long term, how big will it get? Do I have a tank to accomplish this? Do I have a tank that can hold it? Yes, we do have the pond up front, and we did just move the koi out of there. Actually, I just sold the 2 massive plecos out of there as well, so that tank is actually, or that pond is empty for the first time ever. So it's weird, but there's a lot that goes into it. Now, the pros far outweigh the cons in owning a fish store. Trust me, guys, I love bringing you guys care guide videos, showing you different species in my shorts, different plants in my shorts. And by shorts, I mean short videos, not my actual shorts. But there's so much that goes into owning a fish store, and cost alone can go out the wall. Now, if you notice, I have these nice trim. I don't have, yes, they're black stands underneath, but I wanted to give it that cleaner finish. So I spent a little extra money on the trim to give it that clean appearance and that clean look. Is every store going to do that? No. But it's an extra expense that I had to eat because, hey, guess what? I can't sell this door. I mean, I could make it for someone, I guess. But there are a lot of hidden costs when it comes to owning a fish store that people don't realize. And the overhead of a fish store is drastically expensive. Now, when you go into a fish store, you can tell a lot about a fish store by their overall cost of their fish. Now, I won't break down fish of cost or cost of fish at all, but it says a lot. Now, if fish are jacked up in price, and let's say it's like a guppy, and it's going for 15, 20 bucks, there better be something fancy about that guppy if I'm spending that kind of money at a store. The average guppy we sell here goes for $8, and that's for some of our nicer ones. That's not even just our assorted guppies. So keep that in mind, guys. Like I said, I didn't mean to go off on kind of a tirade of all this, but I do get asked all the time what my thoughts are, and like, do I still enjoy having a fish store? Because I do, as some of you may know, I do have aquariums at home. And so it's not like I finish dealing with fish here and then I go home and I can just kick back and relax. No, I have to go home and actually do more. And for some people that would actually drive them away, because that's a lot of work. People don't realize sometimes how much work goes into aquariums. And so, do I love it? Yes, of course I do. I love fish. They bring me a lot of comfort and bring me actually a lot of relaxation. And that's something I enjoy. That's something that will never change. And that is something that I will always continue to bring to each and every one of you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Man, I cannot talk today. And we will see you guys next time.